Crazy, 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 crazy. My watch. What a time right now we are. That's You're wondering what I'm doing, folks. I'm tracking my steps here. Sometimes I really get so locked into my walking, I forget to track my steps. But you can't make enough of these videos because it's not like December is going to roll around every day, right? So we are in the final stages of 2024. And hey, I love doing this stuff. This is cool now. I love feeling this grounding, This is, I love this. I love this. 2024. So, man, time is flying. It hasn't been 3 years, but I moved to Vegas 2.5 years ago. Look at this. You gotta get out there. You gotta get out there and feel nature. Like it's been, it's like June 2022 when I moved here, and it just feels like yesterday, And another year is gonna go by. Another year we're older. Some of us don't look it, right? But we are all aging. Time is passing, and some of us are achieving our goals. Some of us are just sleepwalking at life, like it's taking it for granted, And I talk about this in nearly all my videos, that how important your health is and how conscious you should be of it and how awake, like, conscious. Yeah, basically, you have to be paying attention to everything that goes into living a life that's a wellness life, really, that the quality of life, right? And so this is a great reflectory period, right before Christmas. Like next week is Christmas, and how many of us are still recovering from Thanksgiving, right? All the quote unquote the mess, right, that we did there. How many of us are still eating leftovers after Thanksgiving, or just going and doubling down, tripling down on your the bad way of eating, right? But hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. And just remember, just like Thanksgiving is a wrap, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, this will all be behind us in about 2 weeks. And then the real test begins, right? The real fog, the brain fog, the clog, and all that anxiety, the food, the overeating, unwinding all of that, the dirty bulking, and some of us excessively, trying to get rid of that fat that we've put on, the extra layer on your body, all of that, right? Now it's a grind, right? But if you're like me and some others out there, and if you live this life 365, or at least 80% of the time you're on it, these holidays won't affect you or impact you. I can already tell how people are feeling about these holidays. One, it's a tough time right now in the economy. And two, people are just not as emotionally well as I've seen them, be versus the last few years. It's tough times, and just a lot has happened, right? This has been a testing time of a period. And look at the elections, right? We just finished that too. It took a toll on me, I'll tell you, like watching the news all the time, and now feeding off the news and detoxing, and finally there's an outcome. But then there's always something, hysteria, right? There's always some drama on the news. You have to turn that off too. I'm glad the elections are over. I was just talking to a gentleman in San Antonio, Texas. I'm coming back from that trip, and we started talking about politics without taking sides, and we both agreed. He was a good dude, bartender, local there, and I met him at the hotel that I was staying. So I had a couple of drinks at that bar while I had my food, and we both shook hands and said, "Hey, bro, we're glad this election's over." But the next thing you know, you see drones in the air, right? And all of that hoopla, right? So I even debated if I wanted to fly. Like, you start overthinking some of these things. And so you have to decide what you want to tune out, right? And it's also very telling, and I'm not surprised that when I turned up the news, once we got the candidate in place, things were a lot more peaceful in my house. Like I wasn't watching the news, and so somehow those events that are happening, it's not happening. If that makes sense, like It's amazing what happens when you turn on the news and inside of your home, your four walls, there's so much peace. Does that make sense? So what I'm driving home here is that 2024, we say this every year. Every year, there's something going on. Every year, we say, damn, it went by so fast, right? It was January of 2024, I remember. The new year, new me, catchphrase, right? All of that. And I still remember watching fireworks from afar, from my balcony, and saying that how is it that I've lived in Vegas for 2 years? I've just procrastinated and never stepped out to watch fireworks and go celebrate it on the strip. Well, this year's gonna change. One, life is short. Two, you just gotta sometimes go for it. And three, I actually have a girlfriend this year, so go figure, right? And so I've made plans. She doesn't know this yet, and she doesn't really follow my YouTube channel like that, which is good. I prefer it that way, but I booked a very lavish New Year's Eve. I have some plans, but I just pulled the trigger after this Dallas trip here, a San Antonio trip, sorry. I keep saying Dallas, because I used to go to Dallas a few times with my prior job, so my association of Texas is Dallas, right? San Antonio. When I got back from San Antonio, I'm riding that good energy, and I didn't hold back. So I booked this beautiful Bellagio that overlooks the whole, that lake, that tourist attraction right over the fountain on the Las Vegas Strip. So me and my girlfriend will have a 6-course dinner there. It runs from 8:30 to about 1 o'clock in the morning. So we'll get to see we're gonna get served. I've already paid for it. How much did it cost me? About 1,200. But now if you look at it, right, that's a lot of money, right? But then again, it's really not, because 2024 has been one hell of a year, right? One hell of a year. A lot has happened. If you've seen my channel, a lot has happened this year. She just happens to be the beneficiary of good times, and I'm choosing to keep her in my life. And yes, I can go and be with someone else if I choose to, but right now it's a good wave. It's a good ride, and I'm just riding that wave. And no, there's no proposals, there's no marriage and all of that stuff. I already told you why. You can look up that video, why I opted to never marry. You'll have all your answers there. I'm just riding the wave. I certainly deserve the best boyfriend of the year award. I'll easily take that trophy. No thanks to being a husband. I don't want that role. So I'm just airing some thoughts out for 2024. It's just my mind, the way it's working. It's made up on certain things, but I will never forget these walks, this, how this particular area, what this means to me, coming out here night in, night out, day in, day out. When I left my job 6 months ago, the corporate life, this was my safe haven. This place here is where I shot a lot of my YouTube videos, and I continue shooting my YouTube videos here. But I'll never forget these days. I'll never forget what 2024 showed me, and it told me who I was through my actions. I took a big risk, so if I've taken 5-6 months away from corporate to set up my life differently, and set up some potential assets in that sense. So this is YouTube, right? But I have 2 faceless channels as well. There's a good chance that in a couple of years, those channels will be monetized and start paying off. So the time off wasn't for vain, folks. I think I'll be back in corporate in due time. You've seen my other video I just did coming back from that presentation, the interview. If I get a few more hits like that and go to the finals, NBA finals analogy, sooner or later I'll win another chip, and I'll be back in the market. But right now it's just reflecting, being very thankful to all that life has offered me. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to walk 10,000 steps every single day. I am very fortunate to be in this position, and to give back and share my stories. And also I want to say it takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there the way you do. And if you're doing that, and if this video resonates with you, I just want you to know that hey, You see me, say something, because if you say something, I will see you. I'll see your journey as well. And I'm not worried about how I look, what people think of me, how many views the video gets, or it doesn't, how many comments it gets. It doesn't. I don't get a lot of comments on my videos because people don't really know who I am. But in due time, hopefully there's enough material, more than enough, right? I'm like 300 something videos already into this, right? So, man, those mountains, look, there's a Southwest plane going right there. So symbolic, because I was in the Southwest airline yesterday, flying business select. So there you have it, folks. It's 2024 is almost done. And if I can go out in the final few weeks and put a dent in the universe and be in a position to change my life again through a corporate gig, right? Through a corporate work, a very honorable one too. That's in the workings. It's not final, but I think I'm almost there. You can too. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your health journey, the big one. And if you are finding inspiration from all of this, you don't have to say a whole lot. If you subscribe, if you like, that's good enough for me. And if you don't, I'm indifferent to it, trust me. Because I'm really doing this for me. And if it catches the right audience, we build a little bit of a community, how cool would that be, right? We all become spiritual walkers in that sense. So health is a big one for everyone. All of that to wind down this video and conclude and say health is a big one and should be a priority for everyone going into 2024, especially if you're 40 and over. And if you're like me, next summer, pretty soon here, less than 8 months, I'll be hitting the 50 mark. And I can't believe I'm there. I'm just glad I made it this far. I'm just glad I'm living to be able to tell this story. Most importantly, I'm happy that I have a better grip on my stress and I can tune out what I don't need in my life. And by choice, I choose to have what I want in my life. It's a big difference, okay? To the next video, folks. Mamba out.